Hey guys, it's Christian, your Vancouver Realtor. Thanks very much for tuning in and being here. And if you enjoy the content, the stories of this video blog, go ahead and give us a subscribe or thumbs up. We love having you be part of the family. The topic of today's video is a townhouse update here in Vancouver and the suburbs that hug Vancouver. Right from day one of 2021, the townhouse market has been the busiest of the three product types. Of course, condos, houses, townhouses. And for most families, most individuals, the houses are just too expensive these days. So people can't make the jump. For example, East Vancouver, the average townhouse price right now is $1.8 million. And it just goes up the further you go west. Even Burnaby, Coquitlam, $1.5 million is going to be an average. So hard to get that much money in a loan from the bank, or very few people have access to it or can qualify for it. So what's the next best thing you can do? Well, most people will turn their sights onto townhouses. And townhouses offer a lot more space, maybe a little bit of yard for the rover to go play in. Maybe if you're thinking of starting a family, a child or two, a townhouse offers that space. So that's where I know I've been spending a lot of time with clients. And that's where I was spending time with clients yesterday. So for this video, I want to talk to you about the townhouse market, how competitive and difficult it is to get a home, but really what kind of strategies you can do to, to get into the market, basically, to kind of climb up and get in. So let's do that. So the very first thing I want to tell you is for the month of September, 53% of townhomes were selling. That means all the inventory is gone in 2 months. Just now, by the way, that number is normally 15%, It's now over 50%. So that just tells us it's a red hot, off the charts busy market for townhomes. That's how desirable they are right now. So what can you do in this situation? Well, there's several strategies you can do. And the very first one I'll tell you is you can make a bully offer. So let's play the scenario out. Let's say you and your fiance, you find a townhouse online, you see it, you like how it shows, and then you make an appointment with your agent. Let's say you call me, we go and we take a look on a Wednesday afternoon, and you fall in love with it at first sight. Well, one strategy is to make a bully offer. A bully offer means you're going to make an offer that evening, and you're going to come in really strong, you're going to come in above the listed price, and you're likely not going to have any conditions. So when and where would you try this? Well, first, you're going to make sure you've got your financing approved and the broker has given you a green light. A pre-approval in writing is much preferable in this instance. And I will often share all the documents with the mortgage broker so they're seeing what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. Then they'll know whether or not you can get a pre-approved. Also, if it's a newer building, if it's only 4, 5, 6-year-old townhouse, okay, you may not need an inspection. It's still covered under warranty. If it's an old townhouse, you wouldn't do that. The third thing is you want to be familiar with the strata, and we want to get all the documents, the financials, the bylaws. We want to read through if there's going to be any work coming up, a new roof, new windows. Once we have that information, we have we've taken a magnifying glass to the strata. We've looked under the hood, so to speak, and then we know a lot more. I had that happen on one of my listings this year. We had listed in the Fraser Valley a townhouse. The buyers, lovely couple, they had just missed out on a townhouse like 2 weeks prior in the same complex. I think it was the one just a couple doors down. And then here, I came out with this listing. I had a corner unit. It was just in great shape. And what they did, their agent knew the complex. The buyers knew the complex. They came in with a bully offer. And they came in, I think it was $20,000, $30,000 above the asking price. No conditions. And I told my seller, I said, I think this is a pretty good offer. And of course, we ended up selling it to those folks. So that's one strategy you can try. It really works, but you got to have your ducks in a row. Now, another thing that you can do is, I call this looking outside the box. Specifically, I mean, look above your price point or outside your very favorite area. The way we've done this a couple of times is my clients have said, for example, my budget is $1 million. I can't go above 1 million with my down payment and my mortgage. So what I did is, after several weeks, I started to look above that price point, and I found a home at the 1.1 range. And I said, you know, this is perfect for them in every way. Why don't we take a drive out and look at it? My clients and I, we went over, we looked at it, and they loved it at first sight. They really wanted it. Problem is, it's too high in price. But what we were able to do was negotiate the seller down. And we negotiated the seller down by quite a lot of money, saving my clients about $70,000, 70. And we did that at least twice in the last 3 months. So it can work. It's a good strategy to use in a climbing market, because in a climbing market, those prices are going to get there anyway. So why not go and kind of just jump into the future by about 2 months, and find something that you really like, and in the meantime, while it's still quiet on that listing for the seller, try to negotiate them down. It's not always going to work, but it does sometimes, and it has twice in the last 3 months for my clients and for myself. So give it a shot. All right, the next strategy that you can try is just accessing hard to access homes. Typically, this is a tenant-occupied property. The tenant is refusing to allow the listing agent showings. Maybe they have it to a very small window once a week. This is where a client of mine and I we found some luck. We were able to get into a tenant-occupied property in Pitt Meadows. Very nice townhouse, big, close to shopping, really perfect in every way. A little bit rough inside. It needs a new paint job. You got to change she's going to have to change the cabinets, the floors. But really, it ticked all the boxes. Came with the garage, all those things. And what we were able to do is we kind of shoehorned our schedule so that we could get in on a weekday evening. And we were one of only a handful of people to get inside. Later that week, we were able to view another half a dozen homes on the weekend. And then my client said, God, you know what? I really, really like that townhouse we went to see earlier during the week. Can we circle back to that, and can we try an offer there? Well, we were in a very favorable position. Now we could negotiate one-to-one with the seller. And when you're negotiating one-to-one with the seller, you've got the leverage. Right? They want to sell, and you're the only one that wants to play ball. So that's a great situation to find yourself in. And we were able to get that townhouse and save $15,000 in the process. So that's another thing you can do. Try to get in to difficult to see properties, and then you can negotiate with the seller if you like the home. So that's another strategy. And I would say the last thing is, if none of those work and you find yourself in multiple offers on a Monday night, what you can do is just treat the multiple offers like a very fluid situation. And what I do with my clients is I tell them, this is a fluid situation, okay? There's a lot of moving parts here. We may only get one opportunity to make an offer. We may have a second chance. But let's go in with a pretty strong offer right out of the gate. And normally what that means is you're not going to have a lot of those conditions. You're going to read those strata documents on a Saturday night, a Sunday night. Make sure the mortgage broker has kind of green-lighted us for a purchase. We've cleaned up our offer. We can do an inspection before the deadline of offers. And so we can do a lot of our homework up front. Takes a little bit more time, but it's fine, right? If the result is you get your forever home, it's certainly worth it. And that has worked for us as well. In one instance, we found ourselves in multiple offers, and the agent basically called me back and said, look, you're too far off. Don't even waste your time, Christian. I knew right away we were too far off the lead. And I went to my clients, and I asked them a question, and I will ask you to ask yourself the very same question when you're buying a home in multiple offers. And that is this: at what number would you not feel regret? So if your agent tells you, we better increase our offer to $900,000 if you want this townhouse, if you don't dig your heels in at $870, you may say to yourself, well, if you answer this question honestly, you may say, well, yeah, I'd be fine paying $900. And I always ask, would you be okay if you found out tomorrow that the other guys got it for $900, not you? And if my client response is, oh, no, I would have paid that in an instant, then I'll just tell them, look, let's just make that offer that tonight, right? Just do the $900 so that you're not feeling any regret for having missed out. So that's a way to treat a multiple offer situation. See it as a very fluid situation, one. And second, ask yourself, at what number would I be okay losing this townhouse where there's no more regrets? That's your upper limit. All right, I hope this has helped and given you a couple of insights, perspectives, maybe some strategies you can use in your search for a townhouse. I think you may need it because it is such a competitive market out there for it. So thanks very much for watching. Give us a like or a subscribe. We love having you, and we'll see you next time.